Hey everyone! So today we're going to make a mandala from scratch. So let's get to it. Alright, so first off, what is a mandala? So mandala is a symmetrical circular design. They're used in many different cultures all around the world for teaching, meditation, and just as decorative artworks. So we're going to use what you've learned about color to create a personal mandala. And I'm going to show you the basic steps, but you have complete creative freedom to make this however you want, as long as you keep to the basic rules that it has a basic circular look and it's symmetrical. And when I mean symmetrical, I mean if you decide to add something on one side, you should also add it to the opposite side, the top and bottom, and it'll keep that circular symmetrical look. So the first thing we need to do is pick a color scheme. So, if you want to go back to look at some of the other lectures and videos where we've talked about color, you're more than welcome to. I did include this basic color psychology chart if you would like to look over this to kind of help guide your decisions. So for myself, I'm going to go with purple. I love that it represents art and imagination. I'm going to use some magenta, which is like a pinkish red, for creativity, energy, and excitement. And then I'm also going to use some orangey, yellowy colors as well. And for here we have, original, enthusiasm, positivity, all these fun things, right? So I'm going to pick those colors. They're some of my favorite colors, so I knew right away that's what I was going to go with. Now, if you're still having some problems trying to choose something, I did also include this blog post, color combinations and how to apply them to your designs. And it really breaks down some of the different color combinations, as well as listing over 100, or I think it's 100 different color combinations. So if you're still kind of confused, you can just scroll through these and see what is speaking to you, what you like, and maybe you're not sure why you like it quite yet. You're still figuring that out. That's okay. Just go with something that you feel kind of represents you and what colors you're attracted to. So let's go ahead and get into Photoshop. Move this on over. And we're going to create a new document. So let's go ahead and click on New File. And you're going to want to create a document that's 2000 pixels wide by 2000 pixels high. The resolution isn't that important. I usually stick with 100 when I'm doing stuff for the web just because it's easier for my brain to do math with that. I'm going to make sure that I go ahead and rename this because we want to stay organized. So we're going to go with last name underscore first name underscore GRC 31 underscore mandala. Awesome. And I do want to make sure that I'm in the RGB color mode. And for the color profile, we're going to stick with sRGB because I'm making this for the web. All right, so now that we have that, I'm going to click on Create. And now I have this square that I'm going to be using. So right off the bat, one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to create a gradient for my background. So I'm going to rename my layer here gradient. Okay, and I'm going to add guides because I want this to be perfectly centered. So if you come up here to View and then New Guide Layout, you can actually add guides however you want. You can do multiple columns, rows. For this, I want 2 center guides. So I'm going to go with 2 columns and 2 rows. And then I clicked on center columns here. If you already had some guides, you can click on clear existing guides and it'll take those away. So now you see I have a guide going through vertically, the vertical center and the horizontal center. That's what I want. Sweet. Click OK. So now I need to get my gradient tool. I'm going to hit G to go to my gradient tool, and you can see there's like a swatch of what the current gradient is. If you need to change this, go ahead and just click on here and it opens the gradient editor. Now from here, there's all kinds of different presets that you can look at, and you can choose something from here. You can also create your own gradient. You can click on whatever color you have down here, and once you click on there, It's weird. Why did it change? I don't know why. But once you click on there, you can then click on this color swatch and choose whichever color you want. Move this around, pick whatever you want, click OK. And now you see I have this teal to purple. You can also change the fade by clicking on this little diamond in the middle. And you'll notice that right now I have like this little hand. If I clicked right now, it would just add another color swatch to my gradient, which you can do. You can make something with multiple color swatches. And if you want to get rid of them, you just click on the box and pull down, it'll take them away. Now, if I want to go ahead and just change this, once I move up just a little bit more, you see how it changed to a black arrow? Now I can change the fade by clicking and moving around. Okay, so you might want to pause right now and take a moment to actually change this up. And once you're done, you can go ahead and hit OK. Now I'm just going to hit cancel because I already had my gradient figured out. And now I want to click and drag, and that is going to create my gradient. So I'm going to start right in the center and then click and drag out to the corner. And now I have my gradient. Now let's say that you actually wanted the opposite colors. All you'd have to do is come back up here and switch these colors around. Now you can also, when you're using the gradient tool, how far you drag also changes the amount where the gradient is changing. So if I did just a little bit, it'll create something like that. You can go, I think I'm gonna go about right here. That's nice, I'm liking that. Okay, so I have my gradient figured out. I don't need these lines here for now. So I'm going to hit Command, or if you're on a PC, Control, and the semicolon key, and that's going to hide them. If I hit it again, it'll bring them back, so they're always there. Now I need to create a new layer. So I'm going to come down here and hit the little plus sign. I have a new layer, and this is what I'm actually going to be drawing my main mandala design on. So let's come on down here. Okay, so to do this, we're going to hit B to go to the brush tool. Click back in Photoshop. B, there we go. And what's really cool is if you come right up here, there's like this little butterfly looking icon. Click on there, and there's a bunch of different options, and we're going to be going to the mandala option. So once you click on there, you're going to get what's called segment counts, and it goes all the way from 3 to 10. So what this basically means is if I just did 3 right now, my document would be split into 3 sections, and if I draw on one section, the exact same thing is going to appear in the other 2 sections. So this is what helps create the mandala. And so now I'm going to go ahead and choose. Now this is totally up to you how many segments you want to do. 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 10. I'm going to go with 10 and click OK. All right, got to make sure I'm on a separate layer. Sweet. And actually, why don't I just go ahead and rename this? Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and start drawing. Now you can choose whatever brush you want. There's all kinds of brushes that are built in. There's lots of free brushes out there on the internet that you can download too. Totally up to you. I'm going to use, just stick with this one. Maybe try something different. Sure. All right, now check this out. If I make a line, I now have all these other lines. Sweet. So now I can just start playing and drawing, and it's going to create a mandala for me. So right now I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and work on this a little bit. I would suggest that you do the same, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so I had some fun drawing my mandala, and now it's time to go on to the next part. Now this next part is actually optional. It's adding another element. This could be whatever you want, whatever's up to your imagination. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this really fun filter called, it's under the render menu and flame. So before we do this, we actually need to make a path for this flame to go on, and since I'm making a mandala, I want to keep everything circular and symmetrical, so I'm going to make a circle. So let's go ahead and do that. So I came over here to my extra tools. If you click and hold here, you'll see all the other tools that are hidden, and I'm going to go down to the ellipse tool. I want to make sure that this is on path and not shape. Okay, so now I'm going to click and drag, but as you can see, it's dragging out from there. I want it to drag from the middle, and actually, let me hit Command Z, undo. Let me bring back my guides real quick. So again, that's Command, or if you're on a PC, Control, and the semicolon key. Okay, so I'm right in the center, and I'm going to start clicking and dragging, but I want it to be coming out from the center. So I'm going to hold down my Option key, or Alt if you're on a PC. And then as I drag a little bit more, you're going to see that it's starting to come from the middle. Now, it's also, you know, moving around like this. So to keep it a perfect circle, I'm also going to hold down Shift. So now it's creating a perfect circle. I want to, where do I want my flame to be? I think I'm going to make it right about there and let go. All right, looking good. So now I can go ahead and go back up to Filter, Render, Flame, and what is it? The path is longer than 3,000 pixels. Actual rendering may be slow. Okay, so it's just giving me, you know, so it's telling me that that it's gonna be going all the way around, but because of the size of this, it's only gonna show me a part of this. So this is a really fun feature, and you can play with so many different things. You can play with one flame along a path, so this is kind of like a long exposure, multiple flames. I mean, there's so many different things you can do in here. Totally up to you. You can play with the different lengths, make it really long, really short. So fun. So many things you can do. Okay, oh, I'm liking that one. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with something more like that. Let's see, what about length? A little bit longer there. Okay, and I think I'm going to hit randomize length. Okay, so it's kind of looks a little bit more organic. Well, maybe not for the mandala, right? Okay, all right, let's see how this goes. Let's click OK, and it told me it's going to take a minute. Oh, that was fast. Ooh, fun. Oh no, but I did it on the wrong layer. I did it on my mandala drawing layer. I want to make sure I keep them separate so I can play with them. So I'm going to hit Command Z, undo. And I need to make sure I make a new layer. Okay. Flames. Okay, now let's do this. Again to filter. Again to render flame. Okay, it still has my same settings. Okay, cool. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and move this under my mandala layer so it's underneath. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I should have used a thicker brush for my mandala. Maybe I should just make my flame smaller. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to hit Command T to make this smaller. Oh, it's making my path smaller. Okay, Command Z. Undo, undo. All right, so what I need to do right now, this path is selected. So I need to unselect it. I'm going to go ahead and go here to Paths. And right now it's selected under Work Path. Go ahead and click off of it, and now it's gone. Okay, now I can hit Command T, and it should be just my flames. Uh-oh, but the edges. Oh. Yep, I don't like that. Okay, undo. So that means I'm going to make this again. Sometimes that's just how it goes, guys. Alright, so let's do this again. This time I'm going to use a smaller circle. So let's go back to our circle. Again, I'm going to go to the center, holding down Option or Alt if you're on a PC, and then Shift. Okay, and I'll just make it this big for now, and then I'll resize it later if I need to. Alright, let's go back, filter, and I could just do this to have the same settings, but because it's smaller, it might look different. So I'm going to go ahead and just go back to the settings again. Take the length down. Let's see. Let's not looking quite how I liked it anymore. Oh, that's looking good. Okay, I think I'm liking that. Let's try this out. Okay, yeah, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, let's go back to paths and unclick there. Go back to my layers, and I can go ahead and hit Command T to free transform this. And again, if I want to keep it going from the center, I need to hold down Alt or Option. There we go. There we go. Okay, sweet. So there's my extra element. Now, next, we're going to start really bringing some fun stuff in here by playing with the layer styles. All right, so first off, I'm going to start with my mandala layer. I'm going to double click on the edge here, and let's see. Make this smaller. No, it's just going to be in my way. Whatever. I'm going to hit bevel and emboss. And actually what I'm going to also do is, so I don't see the white lines and I'm just seeing the effects, what you can do is come under here to the advanced blending area and see where it says fill opacity. What this is going to do, it's going to take away the actual white lines and just leave the effect that I've added, which is the bevel and emboss. So let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, fun. I'm loving it. Yay. Okay. So now I'm going to come back to bevel and emboss. Now I'm also going to be, I'm also going to add a drop shadow and a gradient overlay. I'm going to go ahead and pause for a second and play with this a bit. And I encourage you guys to do the same. Okay, so I played with my bevel and emboss settings and found something I liked. I added the drop shadow. Let me turn it off and on so you guys can see. So I gave it a little bit more depth and dimension there. All right. Actually, I think distance. I'm gonna tone it down just a bit. Okay, liking that. Then I added a gradient overlay. Let me turn that off. So it added color to all of this as well. Now, again, this is totally up to you. Don't have to do this, but this is just another way to personalize it and make it your own. So I added a gradient that kind of went from magenta, which is what I have in the middle, out to an orange, kind of like the flames. And then I played with the different styles. There's all kinds of different ways that you can do this, and they all have a slightly different look. Now I will tell you that if you use a thicker brush, you'll be able to see it a little bit more, but I like that it's creating this like subtle look to it right now. Okay, so this is looking pretty good, but I still feel like there's something missing. So I'm gonna go back to my gradient layer, and I think I just want to add some kind of pattern texture to it or something. It feels a little too clean right now. So I'm going to double click on the side here and go to pattern overlay, and let's see, let me try water. Oh, that was interesting. Oh, I like this one. What about this one? Oh, that's interesting too. I think I like this one the most though. And then of course you can play with all of this. So there's scale is how big the pattern is going to be here. And give it a second to kind of pick up. Now, oh, I like the smaller pattern. It kind of looks like flames again, right? I think I'm going to go with that. You can change the opacity. You can change the blending mode of the pattern. So if the pattern you chose, and this is another thing, patterns, there's some ones that are preset in here, trees, grass, and water, but you can create patterns, you can download patterns, you can upload them. I'm just sticking with what comes with Photoshop for now, but yeah, so this is looking pretty cool. Maybe take the opacity down just a tad. Nope, I like it a bit more. Okay, I'm gonna click OK. All right, let's take a look without the guides. All right, that's not too bad. I feel like it needs something more though. Maybe more flames. I think I'm gonna make a copy of this layer by hitting Command, or if you're on a PC, Control J, and that's gonna create another one. And I'm going to hit Command T to transform, And I'm going to hold down Alt or Option and Shift to have it transform from the center. What did I do wrong? There we go. Ooh. It's starting to take over though, and the middle area isn't. Okay, I think I'm going to go there. I'm going to hit return. I'm going to pull this underneath this. It's very subtle, but so the flames are kind of stacked. But yeah, I feel like this is supposed to be my main thing, and it's not really. What can I do? Maybe I should change my gradient. Maybe I should add some orange. Let's go back to the gradient real quick. Hit my G, and you know what? Why don't I make, in case I don't like it, I'm just going to make a copy, Command J, and then turn off the bottom one and play with this one. Okay, let's see. Actually, move this here, pull this off, pull this here. Let's try something like this. Okay, let me pull my guides back up and start from the center, pull out. What do you guys think? No, I think I'm going to stay with that one. Okay, so not too shabby. I mean, you could really spend a whole lot of time. I was trying to do this really quickly for you guys, but you can spend a lot of time playing with all this different stuff. And you're going to be learning this week too that when it comes to video and Photoshop, we can actually make all of this stuff move too. So maybe think about that. We might be doing something like that next week, huh? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed creating this quick mandala. I can't wait to see what you guys create for the project.